Another day to live, another day to learn. Hello everyone, good day. This is Teacher Faye
and this is Teacher Julie for a video lecture on Greek mythology.
Today, we will be focusing on the story Arachne.
I know some of you are familiar with the title or somewhat heard it somewhere.
Nevertheless, let us now start the discussion by introducing to you the objectives.
These are the objectives. At the end of the lecture, you will be able to: number 1, identify the different elements of the story. Number 2, compare and contrast the characteristics of the two main characters of the story. Number 3, explain how mood and tone contribute to the theme of the myth. And number 4, give generalization to the story. Now, for us to know more about what this story really is, let us tell you a brief summary of Arachne. The story of Arachne. There was a young woman who lived in a small village in Greece named Arachne. She was a gifted weaver. Her tapestries were admired by people all over the world. She would weave day and night. She boasted about being a better weaver than even the goddess Athena herself, who was the goddess of skill. After hearing Arachne's statement, Athena confronted her and a contest was planned to see who is the better weaver was. The loser of the contest could never weave their loom again. After both of them were finished with their tapestries, it was time to choose the winner. Athena's tapestry was beautiful. It showed her winning a competition between herself and Poseidon. Arachne's tapestry was breathtaking. It was so beautiful that it seemed like the images on the fabric were alive. Even Athena herself stood in awe after seeing it.
Unfortunately, the work of Arachne was one that showed the gods' past embarrassments. Athena and the viewers did not take the offense lightly. They rejected her work and made her the loser. Arachne was heartbroken at the fact that she would never be able to weave again. When she felt her guiltiness, Arachne committed suicide by hanging herself. For the guilt and regret was too much to bear for her. Athena, however, did not expect the death of Arachne. Thus, Athena pitied Arachne and transformed her into a spider so that she could weave forever. Arachne then became the first arachnid.
Have you enjoyed the story we told you? Well, we really hope so, because we will now be identifying the basic elements of the story Arachne. Let us start with the characters. The characters from the story are... Yes, they are Arachne, a gifted weaver who is immortal, Athena, a goddess of wisdom, and the people in the village.
For the setting of the story, it was said that the myth took place in a small village in Greece. Which part of the story do you think the conflict started? Yes, it started when Arachne boasted about being the better weaver than even the goddess Athena herself, who was the goddess of skill.
Some important elements of the story to discuss are the theme, mood, and tone. What do you think is the theme of the story? The theme of the story goes around pride and human limitation. Eventually, youth and inexperience coupled with consciousness of her superb gifts causes Arachne to boast that her weaving is better than Athena's, who was the goddess. The mood and tone of the story is evidently intense because of Athena's anger and Arachne's strong desire to prove her worth as a weaver.
Down to our last task, let us now have our recap. Through formulating your own generalizations and contemplating on the lessons you have learned from the story. So, the questions are, what are the generalizations that you have come up from the story, and what are the lessons that you have learned? You can pause this video for a while so that you can organize your thoughts. No cheating! Okay, Now that you're done, let us now try to discuss. Your generalizations actually depend on how you see the story itself. You can say that Athena is cruel for doing that to Arachne, or that Arachne deserved that punishment. Either way, it's your own judgment. For the lesson of the story, one thing that you need to remember is not to boast about your talent. You are not the main reason why you have that kind of talent. Learn to be grateful to God for the skills He had given you. This story teaches humility and tact. As to our conclusion, Arachne explains why we shouldn't challenge or make fun of a god or goddess. They could punish you for life. It also explains that it's not good to be arrogant or think that they're better than everyone else.
Now, try to contemplate and acknowledge the presence of the people behind you, especially God. Learn to be humble and grateful. Good things will come to you. Otherwise, it'll be different way around.
We hope that all of you have gained knowledge, not just about the lesson, but about life in particular. It has been a great time with you. This is again Teacher Faye.
And this is Teacher Julie for a video lecture on Greek mythology. Now, signing off!